It's the country's #1 RVing radio show, sponsored by RVTravel.com, with your host, Alan Warren, the RV
How are
wingman.
things with RV Nana? I know things are smoking busy at PPL, but you've been busy with other things too, haven't you?
Oh my gosh, I've been busy with a little bit of everything from family to PPL parties and a little bit just everything you can have happen. Yes, it's good. It's all good.
Isn't this a great time of year? And it's also great when it's over.
I dislike greatly this short time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. That week difference when Thanksgiving comes earlier makes a big difference in everything I do.
You and me both. I like a long time between the two. But that, all right, we're going to jump right in. I want to talk about something that really stinks. I mean, the topic of smelly stuff and smelly RVs and odors. Talk with, I know it sounds funny, but talk with me is no laughing matter. I mean, smelly RVs, especially if somebody's trying to sell a smelly RV, nobody wants to buy a stinky RV. Talk to us about odors, and I mean, you've seen a lot of RVs come and going through the years. Talk to me about what does a nasty smelling RV do in terms of price wise?
It hurts the value so much. And when you think about a nasty smelling RV, the first thing we all think about is, it's had water damage. It's got a roof leak, because that's a real specific odor problem that is sometimes hard to get out of the walls, out of the carpet. Even if the roof's been repaired, you've got to do some work to get that all cleaned up and make it smell right. But there's so many other things that can cause a smelly RV. Everything from animals, whether it's a dog or a cat, and you can have the best behaved animal in the world, but you have pet dander that gets in there. And, of course, if somebody decides to mark their spot, then if anybody else comes by, they're going to mark that spot too. You know how that is.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things you don't think about is something as silly as people who cook all the time in their RV and they fry bacon or sausage, and all of those odors get up into the vents, into the fabrics, and they'll stay there and linger a long time.
And they just stay. They seem to stay forever, Diana.
They do.
I mean, it's like a sponge. Your RV, and I don't know what it is about an RV. Maybe it's because so much of the time they're closed up, and the air, the humidity, and it just like cooks and veggies, and it can turn into like a giant smelling sour sponge almost if you've got, if you don't take care of the odors when they happen.
It really does make a difference. And then one of the ones that we see so often is the smoke smell. You'll find somebody who has smoked, and, if that's their preference, that's fine, but it's going to stay in that RV, especially if they've been smoking in the RV. It'll linger in the vents and just all of the little nooks and crannies, and it's hard to ever get rid of that. I had one recently that was a 17 that came in, and the walls were yellow. Yellow already. And normally you would see that in one that's much older than that.
What percentage would that, you would sell a unit for? Let's just say $50,000. Somebody would, if an RV, a used RV, whatever it is, normal price would be $50,000, but it's been smoked in. It smells of pets, water smells, sour. What would, instead of 50, what would a seller have to probably settle on?
That could take as much as 30 or 40% off the value of the vehicle. And that seems like an awful lot. But number one, when you're trying to sell it, you're going to have a certain number of people that walk to the door and they walk away. They don't even look at the possibilities of how they could fix something. And sometimes I've seen people have to rip out all the carpet, redo fabric. If you rip out carpet to get rid of an odor, make sure you kills that subfloor. Put that kill stuff on there and get that blocked completely from, making its way back through the new carpet and pad that you put in there. But it can make a significant difference.
I'll bet you when someone comes in and you get, I know it happens often, you sell thousands of used RVs a year, but when someone comes in and when you walk in or whoever does the pricing evaluation, it hits them. A lot of times the seller can't even smell what the customer's going to smell. They're just numb to it. And when you tell them, your RV smells of such and such, some of them may think it's like saying that your kid's ugly or something. I mean, they're offended.
Oh, I have offended many a person over the years because I've gone, oh, wait, I'm the nose person. My employees will come in and go, would you come smell this RV? And it's like, okay, this smells like this, or this smells like a dog or whatever, and you've got to figure out what it was. You know, you can have a rodent that has visited and died in there, and that smell never seems to go away no matter what. There's things that happen. Or the worst for me, and this is an actual thing that happened, we had a power problem, had ground meat in my freezer, and it defrosted, and it ran down the back of the refrigerator. I had to replace the refrigerator. You could not get rid of that odor. It was horrible. Horrible.
So what can, if it's an odor like that, you have to replace, that's going to be a big expense. But if someone does have some smelly stuff going on inside their travel trailer, their RV, what are some things that they can do? I guess the first thing is to try to not have it at all. The second thing is to get it out as quickly as possible. But how do we do that?
Well, one of the things I tell people to do is every time you put your RV up, clean it before you put it up. If you've been out camping for the weekend, think about how your kids and how you smell when you've been out hiking all day. And if you leave all those things in there, how's the RV going to smell? So you need to make sure you clean it all real well. And steam clean that carpet, steam clean the upholstery ever so often. And I'm a fanatic I believe in max air vents, the vent covers on the top of on the roof, because you can leave your vent open a little bit and let some of that air just escape out of there. The humidity, like you said earlier, can really make a difference. And when a unit's closed up, it will start reeking of those smells. And you need to just figure out how to get it fresh. Another thing that I've always done is make sure the holding tank's clean when I store it. Make sure that you've flushed it out real well. I always run a little bit of water in it right before I close it up and put I happen to like the Thetford Smart Drop-In. That's what I drop in. And the RV will smell fresh for 90 to 120 days.
I think a rule of thumb, what you're saying is absolutely fabulous, but if somebody says, you know what, it's clean enough, whatever your RV smells like when you put it in storage, when you put it out, it's going to smell worse than that.
That's right.
It magnifies. And one of these days we're going to have to talk about storage tips, because that opens a whole new subject, because those max air vents are fabulous because you can crack them open and you don't have to worry about critters and things getting in them. But, storage is another way that people can get smells and not even know it. An animal can go up inside, a little mouse, and expire.
Oh my gosh.
It can be a bad deal.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was talking to one of our customers. This is the funniest story. We were talking about the smells in the RVs. And she told me whenever they're out camping, she always leaves her door open. She loves the fresh air. She had a cat that got into their RV, and she didn't know the cat was in there, a stray cat. They closed it up, and they went on home. They're full-time, they leave it at an RV resort. When they came back, they not only had cat smell, their RV on the inside had been destroyed because this cat had been locked up for 2 weeks.
Was it alive when they found it?
It was.
Oh.
Apparently she had enough food in there that the cat found a way. But, it's just, oh, my gosh, you just have no idea what can happen. So be careful on things like that. And clean out your pantries. I've had hamburger buns that are green when I look at them 2 weeks later, So.
Just scrape them off. They won't hurt you that bad. A little penicillin never hurt anybody. All right, RV Nana, we got to jump. Thank you so much. This was great information, and we'll get you on again real soon, all right?